Okay, this is a piece of 2-core cable. I've got a wire stripper here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to nip the end off. And you'll see the 2 wires underneath. There you go. So let's cut into that a little bit more. Now, in this country, brown is live and blue is negative, positive and negative. So I'm just going to strip the ends off these. This one, and that's 2. And I'm going to twist them. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder these 2 connections onto the plug. And I'm going to do that in a minute. So, this is solder. It's 0.8 millimeters and it's got a core. And a core means it has kind of what's called inside flux, and flux is the thing that helps bond this when it melts to metal. This is a soldering iron. I got this off wherever it was, not eBay. I got it from AliExpress. It's quite cheap. Comes with lots of different sized heads, but this is a kind of good head. It's like flat. So, in order to test it working, can you see this? You'll hear it. It should go tss when it's hot enough. You need to adjust the temperature. So it's about here. Yeah. So what happens is, then you touch this on there and creates a lot of smoke. So what you're going to do is don't breathe the smoke in. It's not good for you. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it against one of these like this, and I'm going to melt it onto there. Yep. So you can see that's got solder on it. The other one hasn't, and I'm just going to do the same thing. So what I'm actually doing is I'm priming these connections for when they go onto the XLR plug. Yep, so you can see both of those. Yep, both got tin on them. And I'm going to get the plug and I'm going to do the same thing for the plug. Okay, this is a 3-pin XLR. You undo it like this, and inside is this plastic bit. If I can get it out. That just pushes the wire down, and those are the 3 pins. Just push them in with your finger until it comes out like this. Yep. So the connections are 1, 2, 3. That's negative and that's positive. Pin 1 is always negative. I'll just check with my magnifying glass if that's correct. Can't see anything. 2, yeah. So that's 1 and that's 2. 1 negative, 2 positive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to put some solder on the connections. So hopefully you can see this. I'm just going to rest my solder wire in there, and I'm going to melt it directly on. Yeah. you want to put a bit on. So it doesn't really look like it's got enough, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it in a pair of pliers. So it does get a bit hot. So now I'm holding it in that pair of pliers there. And I'm going to add even more solder. Now you can see it's got a load of solder in there. So what I can now do is, as I said, blue is negative, brown is positive. I'm going to solder this one onto that connection. So I can show you it's now connected like that. I'm going to do the same with the other side. So I'm going to hold it in place to start with. I'm going to add solder to this bit here, like this. Make sure you've got plenty on there. And now I'm going to attach the brown wire to this, like this. So I've now connected those two. But watch out, it does get hot because the soldering iron is hot. So next thing to do is, because I forgot to do it, I need to take the end cap and I need to put the end cap on. It's a bit tight, but it'll get on eventually. So now that's on there. So what I would do if I was you, I'd put that on first before stripping the wires. Yep. Now, what you'll notice is that this has a ridge just here on the top of the middle pin. And that ridge goes into a slot. So you won't go in this way until you turn it, until the slot comes in, and you can push it all the way in, and then you can see that that's come out. Now, remember this bit? The good thing about this is it's got a split in it. So what I can do is I can take this and I can push it in. So there you go, look, push that in. You just have to turn it until it goes in all the way. Then you put that bit up like that and you turn it to lock it into place, which isn't as easy as it sounds. So now that's a completed plug that's been wired in. If you want, you can use shrink tubing to clean up the connections on the inside, but it should be alright because it's not got that much power going through it. That's the end that John would have given you with the plug on that goes on the motor. That bit plugs into the box that I made, and your camera should run immediately. There you go.